WordPress just released version 6.5, and while most people are talking about the flashy new features, I want to tell you about the updates that actually matter for your website's performance and security. Let me be straight with you. I've been managing WordPress sites for over 5 years, and I've seen every major update come and go. Some are game changers, others are just window dressing. WordPress 6.5 falls somewhere in between, but there are 3 specific updates that could seriously impact your site. First, let's talk about the performance improvements. WordPress 6.5 introduces significant optimizations to the block editor. Now, if you're running your site on quality hosting like Cloudways, you might not notice a huge difference because your infrastructure is already fast. But if you're on shared hosting, this update could be the difference between a 3-second load time and a 5-second load time. And trust me, those 2 seconds matter more than you think.
The second major update is the enhanced security features. WordPress has added new safeguards against brute force attacks and improved the way it handles user authentication. This is huge, especially if you're running an e-commerce site or handling any kind of sensitive data. However, and this is important, these security features work best when paired with a hosting platform that takes security seriously. I've seen too many people rely solely on WordPress security, while their hosting provider leaves the back door wide open. The third update that nobody's talking about is the improved database query optimization. This is technical, but here's what it means in plain English. Your website will make fewer requests to your database, which means faster page loads and less strain on your server. Again, if you're on a robust cloud hosting platform, this compounds the benefits. If you're on cheap shared hosting, it might help, but you're still fighting an uphill battle. Now, here's what most WordPress bloggers won't tell you. These updates are great, but they're only as good as the foundation they're built on. I learned this the hard way 3 years ago when I was running 5 client sites on a budget hosting provider. Every WordPress update would cause something to break. Pages would load slower, plugins would conflict, and I'd spend hours troubleshooting issues that shouldn't have existed in the first place. The turning point came when I migrated everything to Cloudways. Suddenly, WordPress updates became smooth. The performance improvements actually showed up in my speed tests. The security features worked as intended because the hosting infrastructure supported them. It was like upgrading from a bicycle to a sports car. The road is the same, but the experience is completely different. Let me give you a specific example. One of my clients runs a WooCommerce store that gets about 50,000 visitors a month. Before WordPress 6.5 on their old hosting, the site would slow down during traffic spikes. After the update, combined with Cloudways infrastructure, we saw a 23% improvement in page load times during peak hours. That translated directly to better conversion rates and more sales. But here's the thing about WordPress updates that frustrates me. The WordPress team does incredible work, but they can't control what hosting providers do. They can optimize the code all they want, but if your hosting company is cramming 200 websites onto a single server, you're never going to see the full benefits of these updates. This is why I always tell people, your hosting choice matters more than almost any other decision you make for your website. You can have the latest WordPress version, the best theme, and premium plugins, but if your hosting is garbage, your site will never perform the way it should. WordPress 6.5 also includes some quality of life improvements for content creators. The block editor is more intuitive, the font library has been expanded, and there are better controls for responsive design. These are nice features, but honestly, they're not going to make or break your website. What will make or break your website is whether it loads in under 2 seconds and stays online when you get a traffic surge. I've tested WordPress 6.5 across multiple hosting platforms over the past 2 weeks. On Cloudways, the update installed smoothly, all my plugins remained compatible, and I saw measurable performance improvements. On the cheap shared hosting I tested for comparison, the update took 3 times longer to install, caused a plugin conflict, and the performance improvements were negligible at best. So here's my honest recommendation. If you're excited about WordPress 6.5, great. Update your site. But if you're still on shared hosting or a budget provider, don't expect miracles. The real magic happens when you pair WordPress's improvements with infrastructure that can actually support them. I'm not saying you need to spend hundreds of dollars a month on hosting. Cloudways starts at a very reasonable price point, and the difference in performance is night and day compared to traditional shared hosting. I've got a link in the description that gives you a free trial and $50 off your first invoice. No pressure, but if you're serious about your website's performance, it's worth testing. The bottom line is this: WordPress 6.5 is a solid update with real performance and security improvements, but those improvements only matter if your hosting can support them. Don't let bad infrastructure hold back good software. Your website deserves better than that, and so do your visitors. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments what hosting you're currently using and whether you've noticed any improvements after updating to WordPress 6.5. I read every comment and I'm genuinely curious about your experiences. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.